and welcome to Survivor Debrief. My name's Eden Porter, the unlucky loser from Survivor Titans vs Rebels. And with me, as always, is my comedic partner and real-life brother, Josh Porter. Josh, how are you going?
Great. I'm good. I'm excited. Interesting episode.
Interesting?
I quite enjoyed it. It seemed like there was some really interesting stuff going to happen, and then it kind of didn't quite happen. But I think it was a much more interesting dynamic. You can see the lines, you can see the thoughts and the playing, and it was. I quite enjoyed this one.
Yeah, I think it was set up to be like this could really change the game and mix things up, and then at the very last minute, it just fell back into conformity. Like it was really open at one point.
Yeah. But I think there's good plan. I think that the highlight for me is there's good plans. People are thinking about ways to get people out.
And there's a few different plans.
Yeah, rather than some of the earlier episodes are just being, oh, we just could this or this, or let's do that. Whereas this seemed like I got information, then this person did, then this person is, and it goes around a bit, and then the plans change, which I really like.
So this group of four that's really emerged now, the Savannah, Rizzo, and Double Soph, it's pretty strong now. But it's wild how Yellow Sophie, all it took was that one slight turn from all the others going like, oh, MC's back. Oh, where's MC? Oh, no. And she really just burnt it. And she's like, I'm all in on this new group now. But it's clearly, I don't know whether she doesn't see it or not, but it's clearly a 3+1. And I don't think you want to be the +1.
Well, I think, and we'll speak about it later, but we've heard so much this season about playing the middle and being in the middle and that being a powerful and important role. So I think Sophie maybe thinks she's in kind of that position now where she's going to pick off who she wants. But I agree. I don't know maybe she just thinks she'll win through in terms of immunity because she doesn't have that rock solid ally that you look to and go, oh yeah, that's her pair and that's going to send her through.
And the worst thing that she's got going for her, she's either winning or almost winning every single immunity challenge. Like, honestly, if you're the +1, you don't want to be the threatening person like that. Like, you don't want to be that person because you're going to be the one that's
or a massive winner.
Yeah, exactly. You want to be more like Rizzo in challenges. I'm not sure she realizes that she's drawing dead against Rizzo, Savannah, and even Blue Soph as well. I just don't know when she's planning to flip because Alex and Joanne are both really interesting pieces of the puzzle to help you flip.
Alex.
I just think she's
Sage
using.
And Joanne. Do you mean
No, Alex. Last episode,
I
don't think she should have pulled that move. Like, I think Alex is someone that could have worked with her.
Yeah, it's kind of highlighting, I think, this vote, that the strange decision to get rid of Alex. It's just like when you have these power players that are sort of making so many decisions and sort of in really good doing really interesting good plays, it seems crazy that you get rid of someone like Alex just because he's playing the middle.
Yeah, like, it seems so weird. And you're like, I want to play the middle, but then it's not. Yeah,
very strange.
Work out. Let's chat for a minute now about the Stephen, Sage, Christina idol sort of connection because
it's really interesting.
Yeah, will you start, Josh?
So we had, obviously, Stephen had shared with Sage that Christina had the idol as a very strong trust-building exercise. Then we saw Sage give that information to Joanne in another trust-building exercise, saying, don't tell Stephen, don't let him know. And then we had Joanne doing that digging with Stephen of like, hey, do you reckon Christina has an idol? I don't know, man. What do you think? What do you think about this? My question for you is, in terms of weighing up the balance, how much weight do you put on building trust with this information versus that information leaking and it being damaging?
Look, I think what Stephen did with Sage really helped them connect, and I think it was used to really solidify. But the thing that you've got to realize is once you tell someone this information, you can never again control who they tell.
Yeah.
Because it becomes their tool to use, just like you just used
the same way you used, yeah.
Like it's exact, and you've got to realize that people are going, yeah, you know how I use this to build trust here with Joanne? Well, Joanne might then use that to build trust with someone else. So once it's out, and you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, right?
That bell cannot be unrung.
This is right. Joanne was leading Stephen to water to tell him.
He
was like, man, you know who I'm really worried about? Christina, and if she's got an idol. And at this point, though, like I feel like Sage has damaged the integrity of the Bottoms Up Alliance by sort of dropping this and being like, oh, yeah, Stephen didn't tell you. I don't think she's seeing it as Stephen didn't decide to tell you this stuff. She's seeing it as, hey, this is a bit of information. Let's talk about it. Let's try and build it around. I think she needed to go back to Stephen and be like, hey, let's bring Joanne in.
Yeah.
Let's talk it through. Because at this point, why not? I don't actually understand why Stephen didn't tell Joanne. Like, was he just worried that Joanne was a bit close with Rizzo still, or
I don't know, because
you can keep it tight between you three.
It also seems like Sage and Joanna are known as a really strong pair. So it seems odd to me that you should probably know, if you tell one half of this pair, it's probably going to get to the other one. So, it doesn't strike me as like him and Sage being like, oh no, and we've got this like secret twosome that no one really knows. Like I've got Christina, you've got Joanne, but secretly we're working together. Like that's kind of not how this is going to work. So yeah, it seems it does seem like shooting yourself in the foot a little bit. By not sharing it with them both. But like you said, I think it did a good job of solidifying their relationship, but it just got away. And then that sort of snowballs from there, right? And these questions start, as we saw with Joanne, like the trust issues and someone didn't tell me this and the stuff with MC, like these kind of seemingly minor things just lock into people's brains. Oh, everyone's lying to me and they're not really truthful.
It is so funny because something like that, like Stephen probably just feels like, oh, it's just a fine thing I did. I did a really good move to help build trust with Sage. But then ultimately, it's actually a mistake that he didn't bring Joanne in and he didn't build something stronger with that and move forward together. Like there's all these tiny little mistakes that you don't realize at the time.
Yeah.
The challenge, Josh.
The reward challenge.
Yes. So this one was interesting. So this one was, first of all, the challenge itself, I think it was it was Team S. It was Team Sophie in the end, wasn't it? It was Sophie, Stephen, and Sage all on one side. And the mechanics of it, like the boy, diving down to get it, and then having
it's a buoy.
Sorry, it's a buoy. Sorry for our all American listeners. Yeah, it's a buoy. Yeah, there was a boy trapped just beneath the surface. They had to
on Australian Survivor, it's very confusing. Though. Oh my God, get him out!
Get him out! Get him out! I like the swinging in.
Yeah, that was cool.
Like I thought that mechanic of it was really cool, and it's interesting that they've really done away with any sort of strength throwing or like kicking or like anything that's like purely like you've really got to hurl this. I feel like they've totally moved to like
more
finesse things and throwing stuff, which is fine, but it removes that alpha male presence that you need, and they're not casting it anymore. Really.
Well, it's just a different skill set, right? Like the hand-eye coordination and the skill and those kind of things is different from push this heavy thing or hold this for a long time. So
yeah, I think it's cool.
I like a mix of everything because I feel like ideally they should be testing everyone. Like it's like it should be a fair test of everyone's skills rather than one particular archetype. But I quite like this. The thing I didn't like, what is your thoughts on Hug That Beam? Okay. I'm not into Hug That Beam.
No, I'm not into Hug That Beam, and this comes into a lot of stuff because first of all, if your feet touch the water, you should have to go back.
Right?
If you're touching the water, and at first I was like, yeah, Rizzo, go back to the start. Like his feet were dragging in the water. Like this is no good. And little did I know what was around the corner. Because then Christina was like in the water, but just holding on.
But that was pretty epic. So I'm kind of okay with that. What was interesting about that Christina moment, I was like, she's done. She's absolutely done. I was like, there's no way she's getting back up here. Like that was quite remarkable to me to see her fight through and pull herself back up from where she was.
Yeah, but any other person, Jeff goes, no, gotta go back. Go back. Any other person,
He's
Jeff,
telling
in
stories.
any other things.
He's telling
chilled
stories.
out. So let's just talk because this whole challenge did revolve a bit around Christina and her
whole
emotional
first
journey.
half of the episode. Really,
yeah, realistically. Now, Christina breaks down. First of all, she broke down with Stephen saying like, I can't trust any of these people. I want to go home sort of thing. Then we get to the challenge and Jeff is just like, she can't even smile at me. like,
put on a smile, darling.
You don't even have... Yeah, hey, Toots, you look better with a smile on those face. It's like old school Jeff, old school Unky Jag. But she breaks down. Jeff then straight up just like pushes her. And then she's like, I just want my mom.
Yeah.
Jeff is straight in with, tell us about your mom. Come on, this is
I broke her.
TV.
I broke her.
Is this good TV, Josh?
It feels kind of old school in the way that we're working out these human emotions and telling these stories. There's been a lot, as someone who sort of hasn't really watched a lot of the new era, it's been really interesting seeing these kind of moments feeling like, these are the human elements. These are the... And he had that whole speech about your real life coming into this stuff and the thing, you're a changed person and if you don't play, you don't get it. So my question for you, Eden, is while you were out there, did you have any moments that changed you? That in the same way that Jeff was sort of speaking, did that resonate with you in any way of like, you reach these low lows and that kind of thing?
I think
your real life sort of feeds into that.
There's some good gotta dig deep stuff. There's some good oh man, I wasn't sure whether I could do that and I just dug deep and I did it and I can really push myself. There's that sort of stuff. And there's also self-reliance and trusting your gut and realizing, you know what, I can really trust myself. Like I know Mark in his journey through it, I feel like he has really found in a sort of self-worth in terms of being like, you know what, my gut knows what's going on. Like, I'm just going to do whatever the hell I want to do. And that's sort of freeing because a lot of people do worry about other people's impressions of them. And so I think there's a little bit of that. I didn't get super change. I was focused on playing the game. And I'm coming in there being like, you know, I'm going to do it. And I know initially you go, you know what, when you're out there, you do have that family's so much more important, man. I'm not going to be on my phone when I get back. I'm just going to be all about family and everything like that. And then you get back and you're like, oh man, I've got to text everyone about this. And then I was on my phone more than I've ever been in my life because you made all these new friends, everyone's chatting to you and all this sort of stuff. And Rachel's like, you came home saying, hey, I'm just going to be all about my family now. And now you're on your phone more than ever. So that's interesting. But there is one thing that I just on this, and I feel like this is sort of contingency of fans playing more. I feel like the case of a fan playing, you get in your own head thinking, you've seen all these great classic people play and you go, yeah, I'm going to lie as well. I'm going to cheat as well. I'm going to steal as well. I'm like all my favorite players have done that and they can do it so well. That's what I'm going to do. I love this game so much. And then they get out there and you don't act like that in your normal life. And people go, this is great. I'm not like that in my normal life, but I can do it here. People can't do it there. Yeah. Because you can't fundamentally change yourself at your core. The people that can lie and cheat and steal are people in real life, maybe have jobs that they have to manipulate people or maybe have grown up having to do that. They're not these really nice, friendly, honest people that suddenly go, oh, now I can. And look, there are exceptions, but I just feel like Christina's a perfect example of someone. I feel like in her head, she was like, oh, yeah, that's fine. I'll burn people. And then she's out there. She's like, I don't know who's lying to me. I trust people. I have conversations and I go, this is what I'm doing. And there was no better example. Oh my God, this was. I'm gonna fast forward to it. The Savannah Christina combo, incredible. It's the difference between like a bunny rabbit and like a king cobra viper. Right. Like you're having this conversation and instantly Savannah's just like, well, who are you voting for then? What are you doing? She's just like, she just like crumbled like a house of cards.
It really was. And it just showed she actually hadn't prepared and thought through this conversation in any way that if you're going to talk to Savannah, it's like, I need to sort of have some idea of what I'm doing. But she was like, oh my God, who can I tell? I can't say anyone that she's working with. Oh my God, who do I get to say here? Who are you going to vote for? But yeah, it was so fascinating to see how quickly it fell apart for her. I need a moment. I'm sorry.
And she just turned away. She was just like, I can't do this. And she just like shut down. It was so wild. And it also shows that like Savannah is like, she's going to get you. She's going to like come at you.
But also, I don't think that was particularly aggressive from Savannah. You know what I mean? It was just, it was quite firm, but I don't think it was like.
I don't mean aggressive as like she was bullying her or anything like that. I just mean like you have those conversations that are wishy-washy that float around the topic and like, I want it. But no, Savannah was just like, you know what? Who are you voting for?
Yeah. I'm sort of saying more in terms of Christina's reaction. It was like, it wasn't like this person massively attacking you. It was just asking quite a directed question when you're discussing this strategy.
That you need to have an answer for in your back pocket.
And the other thing,
100%.
The other thing I found really interesting about Christina, and it sort of felt like, again, a sort of theme of this season, is this going from top to bottom and it being devastating. Like feeling like, you know what's going on, and then one vote doesn't go your way and you're like, this game is it's so hard. Oh my God, these people are lying to me. And I think the people lying to me thing is the biggest thing. And as you said, Christina is genuinely a really, really nice person. And like, how does that feed into your normal life? And what's interesting though, is often you get those kind of players who go, I'm going to go out there. I'm not going to lie to anyone. I'm going to be loyal to the end. And that's how I'm going to win. But like, she's not saying that. She's going, I'm here to play Survivor. But it's almost like maybe that should be her way to do it. That is her path to the end potentially, you know?
Yeah, because again, she didn't have to really play the game for the first half of the season. Like, she didn't really play anything. She didn't have to do anything. And this does come down to the fact that if you go to some early tribal councils, you get some game awareness around you and you feel much more switched on to be able to do that. And yeah, look, and full credit to her. She ended up playing an idol for Stephen and doing some, came back around to it.
And even the plan with the single vote on Rizzo, I really liked all that
that's
stuff.
all good. And
really good.
we can talk about that a bit more later. But I also thought that was really good. But let's just get back to the challenge. Yes, we go through the challenge. Team S wins. Jeff says all the fixins, so we're very thank you, Jeff. Thank you very much, Jeff. And then this is an interesting opportunity about the reward split. Like you either win the reward with a group and you'll lose the reward with the group. I feel like the lose the reward people were just super sad. And they didn't use that time. They didn't use it to go you know what we should do. What are you thinking? What should we think about now?
A good point.
They didn't really do much of that.
Just one little question on that question for Eden.
Yeah.
When you're doing a schoolyard pick for something like this, how much are you weighing up the people I want to keep with me or keep separate or don't want to put together versus I actually want to try and win this challenge?
No. So for schoolyard pick, you pick people you want to win, but for reward pick, you pick people that obviously have strategic advantage.
So in this, because win or lose, you're keeping those together and not those together, right? That should be your primary focus, because it's not like if you lose, you don't, you know what I mean? Those people are still together. So you think that should be a focus win for reward? Yeah,
well, for reward, the thing is, you need to win it, because getting food at this point in the game is more important, realistically, but because what they haven't done this season is you win and you choose people very much. That's usually a staple where you go, okay, Stephen, you've won. Who do you want to bring with you? And that's when you can be super strategic in who you bring and leave behind. But I think at this point, you just want to try and win the challenge. Okay. You want to try and win it. Okay. And then you can give up your spot to someone or do something else.
You could always do that.
And I just want to look. Let's just jump to another challenge. We'll just get through that and then we'll get to the scramble, okay?
Yes.
So the other challenge starts off with a weird rice negotiation from Jeff.
Yeah.
We've seen this before, which is great. It's fine, the rice negotiation. Jeff instantly bails on it. Don't you think that was weird?
I think it must have been very clear that no, everyone no, we're staying.
Juwan comes back with a counter offer. He goes half the bag for two people. And then Jeff goes no. And he goes, aren't we negotiating? He goes, yeah, but we're negotiating, but that's not a negotiation. I'm like, well, what other is there?
I guess he wants three people to sit out. That's his... What are the half bags of rice? 2 bags of rice.
But what is the negotiation?
He wants them to ask more rice, same number of people.
That's what he wants.
That's what Jeff.
Okay, that's what he wants.
That's the way Jeff wanted to go. No, I think it must have become very, very, very clear that everyone was like, "No, I'm here to play, not safe, not safe." I don't think this game in particular, the way it's played out so far, has those people who think they're running the show in a way that they have numbers.
Yeah, well,
they don't have there's 2 people on the outside who we're going to pick off next. There's 5 of us. You know what I mean? It's not that way. I find those are the ones where you might get those hands going up and goes, well, stuff you if you think you're so safe. So I don't think the way the game's laid out at the moment, I think everyone still feels reasonably vulnerable.
I think I'm vulnerable now. I'm not vulnerable. The thing is, I did like Juwan just slowly bringing down his negotiation, half a rice, now quarter of a rice, and Savannah's like, no, what are you doing, man? That's not how you negotiate. Yeah,
but you could reasonably be like, I'm definitely not winning this. You know what I mean? I've got no shot. I'm looking at what's happening. I've got no shot. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Then Sophie wins this. Stephen had a good lead. Everyone was working pretty well, but it just comes down to doing the puzzle.
What's your strat in terms of how many puzzle pieces are you trying to carry? You're going to load up on the first one?
Load up. I've got, my balance is all right unless I'm standing still on one foot. Load up.
Would you maybe try the first one and go, I'm going to load up on the first one, see how I go? Because that makes sense, right? Rather than, you may as well just load up 3 and just go, yeah, we'll see how we go.
Yeah, I think you go big at the start, and then if it fails, you reassess.
Yeah. I like this challenge.
I think that's a good strat. Yeah. The teeter-totter thing was good, and I like doing the logo puzzle at the end.
Did you like the new element of the tunnel? The teeter tunnel?
Yeah, that's all right. It's fine.
Jeff was very excited.
Jeff loves to call out things that are new because everyone complains online that they recycle challenges.
Yeah.
He goes, look at this then. Look at this. This is new.
It's great.
I can just imagine Jeff in the chat, just getting in the chat ring up.
Or at a pseudonym, Pref Jopes being like, wow, this challenge was great. Wow, it looks so, wow.
I love it how they don't recycle any challenges. Thanks, Pref Jopes.
Is amazing.
Thanks, Pref Jopes. Let's get someone's Reddit account prep jokes up and about. So Soph is again just targeting herself as a huge threat. Like, if she doesn't win, she's come second twice and she's won twice now, which is
I think the
good.
same way that everyone's talking about Savannah in that way, it's kind of like Sophie's right there with her. So yeah, it's an interesting spot to be in, but I don't know. It just feels so hard to not push so hard at this point. But I as we sort of saw, what was his name? The guy from 47, the country guy. Anyway, he just like won everything. It's like as soon as he loses. Kyle, I think it's Kyle. Yeah. It's like as soon as you lose, everyone is going to go for you.
Yeah, you're out. Yeah. You're out. Historically, when you have the necklace, it gives you the power to make a move and to do something bold. Sophie does not take this power. She does not do something super interesting. She goes, "I'm with these other guys. I'm just going to vote with them again." So a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, I guess it sort of ended up that she just picked her side again. Yeah. And rather that, like, the name on the card changed, but the sort of allegiances didn't. And I find it interesting that, like, Sage put so much faith and trust in Sophie. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, either do I. I don't know quite. Like, I don't think she had any social capital with her. I think she just was just like, let's do this. And so there's a few things. So with Sophie, I feel like she feels like she's in the middle and she gets to make the call, right? Sophie and Sage are actually could be a really good like working group. I think. Sorry, I think that actually gives Sage and her. I think they've got similar winners winners equity. And I think they could actually bounce off each other and play that sort of weird sort of middle spot. But Sophie ultimately makes a big deal about being in the middle. Historically, it is a good spot, right? You get to decide who goes home in your head. But if you look at this situation, I actually think it's like Rizzo or Sage that gets the credit for whichever way this goes. I think if you go with Rizzo, then you're going with Rizzo's plan to do this. And if you go to the other side, you're going with Sage's plan. I don't think anyone gives you any credit. So I think
it's not your plan, right?
This is what I mean. But people in their head go,
that's a really interesting point.
I've decided who goes home. I'm doing this. But more often than not, it's actually the person whose plan it was that you go to, and it's seen as them convincing you. That's the move. They convinced you.
And whereas when we had the little tribe split a few episodes ago with Rizzo turning the tides and making the new plan, you know, Savannah came back and that kind of stuff, like that is clearly that person. And what I really loved is like Sage really driving this plan of being like, I've got a plan. Let's start talking to people. Let's get some numbers together. It was really cool to see, to be like, I've got this thing. I'm going to go this person, go over here, go over here. It just like that last little thing pipped it with Sophie wasn't as locked in as they thought. And that was really interesting because that kind of stuffed Stephen and Christina with their plan, thinking like, oh yeah, cool. Well, that's solid. So we'll just throw one on Rizzo in case it gets played. What I still don't quite get why they don't want to get rid of Savannah. Like why anyone isn't like, really got for her, because it seems between her and Sophie, like they've been really strong at the challenges. So I don't know why you wouldn't want to get rid of them.
So Sophie says that she wants Savannah around as a challenge shield.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Which I actually think that's an incorrect read, because I actually think you're the shield for her.
Yeah.
I think you're the one that people are going to look at and be like, oh yeah, let's cut her. She's winning all these challenges. She's the beast out there. Like that is your perception. I think Stephen could be a better, like, I don't know. You've got someone on both sides. You could paint Stephen as, man, Stephen's almost winning so many of these. He's right there.
Wow, Stephen's almost winning stuff, guys.
I know, but
we've got to watch out. He's
how you
almost
can swing
winning
it. That is how you can swing it.
Yeah.
And it is really. It's really interesting that she ultimately got all this information from Sage and then just instantly spilled it made the decision, no, I'm going with these other guys because Savannah's going to be my shield. I just don't know when she's going to flip on those tight three. I just don't know. She's running out of opportunities to do that.
Especially with the things they have. Like, they've still got that idol. Like, again, Rizzo's name is out of everyone's mouth because he has the idol, as we spoke about, like the split's gone. You've lost your chance there. It's like you're just running away. You're losing runway on this. And unless you put votes on this guy, he's going to get through. And as we sort of saw, like what I find really interesting, not to skip too far ahead, but like his reaction when Jawan, he's like, I couldn't let you get away with it twice, bro. Like that kind of thing. You flipped on me. Like him in that moment in front of the jury taking real ownership over like, I got to get you, man. And he was the first one standing up doing that.
It was this sort of, I didn't like that energy. I didn't like that, like yeah, man, hey, man, yeah, you got me, I've got you back. Like, I didn't like that energy.
Yeah, it was a weird end to the tribal.
Like, it was very strange. But going back to Sage for a sec, I think she made the classic mistake of telling Sophie what's happening and not getting Sophie to pitch something to her and to pull something out of Sophie and getting her to make the call and then building around that. Because she went in there, and this is another thing she did wrong. She went in there too early, pre-immunity, so you didn't know who was going to win immunity.
Yeah.
Went in there too early. And if you don't trust her 100%, I reckon bring her in late. So bring her in super late. Tony used to do this all the time. Like just before tribal, go to Sophie and be like, "Hey man, things have changed. We've got the numbers now. This is happening. It's all in Savannah. This is," because then what happens is you don't give her time to go back to Savannah to tell Savannah. Then Savannah and Rizzo talk about it. Then she goes, "You know what? I could use this thing." They come up with plans. They have all this time to come up with all these plans and think through everything, because it really comes down to information. Once you have the information, you can then play around it. I feel really sorry for the other side. They didn't know Savannah has an extra vote, so they can't play around that. Well, they don't have that information.
Let's talk about that, because that didn't come up at all, and also during the voting didn't come up during the who did that 1, 2, 3, 4, like it didn't come up, and I'm desperate to know. Was it one of those things that everybody did know and we just didn't see it? Because nothing was spoken about it in a way that was like, hang on a minute, that's only
There's too many
4
votes.
people. Why is there an extra vote? Like,
it seemed like the jury knew. The jury was like, "Oh, extra vote, extra vote. It must have been an extra vote."
yeah, so maybe it's one of those things that everyone ended up knowing the information. Somehow it got out there, or they figured it out or something. I don't know. It was weird that it didn't come up beyond them being like, "Hey, we definitely got to play," which I think is the right call when you're not exactly sure what's going on. You're like, definitely
it was the
play it, let's
perfect
use
call.
it. Yeah.
Because now you're in a position where you can't split evenly now. So if you just use that extra vote, then you've got it made in the shade. Yeah. As long as you make the correct call to avoid the Stephen, which I think was pretty obvious at the end of the day, once everyone knew about Christina's idol. And that's the other thing. Everyone knew about it because it had been leaked so much. So ultimately that was a disservice to their tribe, because if no one knew about Christina's idol,
true.
then it comes out of the blue and no one is thinking, well, she might play it for herself. She might play it for Stephen.
But Eden, as we saw them see, then your allies go, why didn't you tell me about the idol?
Yeah, this is
you
true.
should have told me about the idol.
This is true. So I think Sage should have gone, identified that they needed Sophie's vote, go to Sophie, say, what do you want to do? Because me and Jay are on board. Let's shake it up. Not go to her and go like, we're getting Savannah.
Yeah.
Because it would have been interesting to see if Sophie had another play to be like, oh, yeah.
Well, I guess another question for Eden. Do you think Sage should have understood the Sophie-Savannah relationship better? Or did she do good in thinking like, well, of course she's going to go for her. She's the only other one really challenging her in challenges. So Sophie would absolutely want Savannah gone.
Yeah.
Rather than realizing that Sophie's like, no, she's my shield. I'm going to keep her around. I'm going to work with those guys.
Well, obviously she had no read that Sophie wanted to keep like Savannah as a shield. Yeah. Because you're again, Sage is a bit blinded by her emotions, because she goes like, I hate Savannah. I want to get her out. So she's pitching that as a plan. And I think, there's a few things wrong from all across the board. I think Sophie definitely should have gone on here. And I think Yellow Sophie, this is the downfall of her game. I think she's going to get burnt.
Yeah, I think that core 3, still with tools, it's crazy. And Sophie, I don't think Sophie's told anyone about knowledge is power. Or
no,
maybe
Sophie. I still think Sophie she was my winner's pick at the merge, and
no one is talking about her.
No one is talking about her. She's got this great move in her back pocket, and if she gets to the end with most of these people, I think she beats them. She beats most people.
And she's got a really compelling story, right?
And no one knows.
The whole start of the game, like I fought my way through and I made it through.
And I think, again, from an edit perspective, Sophie said there wasn't much of her, but there was one little bit where Sophie said something that was spot on, which is always good for winner's equity, when she said, we need Sophie to decide because we need her to feel good. So it doesn't actually matter who goes home. She was very adamant of like, let's just get Sophie to push someone and then we'll get on board with it. Yeah. And they sort of let her, she really wanted Stephen, and they were they let her lead along like, yeah, that's cool. And then they managed to just slowly shift her understanding to be Joanne and be like, this is going to be safer for us to get rid of the flippers.
As we sort of have delved into tribal and whatnot, what do you think is the decision around getting rid of Joanne instead of targeting Sage?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's weird. I feel like Joanne, maybe he talked himself into being a threat.
Yeah.
Maybe he talked him, because I know in Yellow Sophie's confessional, voting confessional, she was like, I had no idea how much a big player you were and how brilliant you were and stuff like that. So see you later. Maybe Joanne was just really nice and was talking, even in Tribal Council, he said, I think I'm a big threat, Jeff.
Well, yeah, because we see a lot of his conversations, but it clearly felt like Sage was driving this plan. And I feel like Sophie probably could have got that sense. Is like, oh, this is Sage's plan. She's actively trying to do stuff. Why don't we get rid of her? Yeah, it just seemed like an odd choice for Joanne. But what an interesting journey Joanne had. Like, just overall, like on the bottom over here and then in the middle, like I thought he got through really well and like was really good pair with Sage, I thought, which I didn't see as a strong pair, and ended up running the game for a real long time.
And they were all in there. And then like at Tribal Council as well, Joanne started to say some stuff that was actually interesting. He started to say, like, the person going home tonight is not going to see it. That I really like them, but they're really good. And then Savannah's face was just like, oh my
But
God.
was him giving away that it's not the easy vote? That you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Oh yeah. That's what he was trying to sort of dictate. But I like it when people actually start saying stuff at Tribal Council and not just Survivor's like a horror film and this, and just not saying anything. Like I like that aspect of it. Then we're actually at Tribal Council. What else happens there?
Rizzo's
thing. Well, also the term bamboozled, which I'm going to say I brought back in Titans
brought
vs.
back.
Rebels. I brought back bamboozled. Steven said it this episode, and then although I think Rizzo said beanboozled.
Yeah,
instead of bamboozled.
Yeah, it was maybe, I don't know.
But I'm claiming I'm bringing that back to the Survivor world. Thank you. Now, this Rizzo. So Christina uses her idol on Steven. Big move to play an idol not on yourself. I think that's great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I thought that was lovely. I just don't think anyone's targeting Christina. I just don't think anyone's targeting her.
What was the funniest thing when Steven was like, don't worry, they're not going to go for you.
Yeah, they're not
it's really funny. It's like, you're fine, dude. Like, in terms of the two of us, they're not going for you. You're fine.
And so that was a big move. That was
great.
Didn't pay out, which was fine.
But also, it's nice. It's just nice to see someone play an idol, right? And go like, I'm going to try and use it in a way that isn't just safe on myself. So I really love you seeing.
I thought that was really good. Then Rizzo has his fake idol play. Now, let's just break this down for a second. So everyone knows he has an idol. Then he goes up to play this idol on Savannah. Now, is this the old classic reading people's reactions and being like, what are people doing?
To me, that is the only reason you would do this. But if for some reason, I don't feel that was Rizzo's plan. I don't know why. I don't think his mind works in that way of like, I'll do this and see reactions and then gauge what everyone is worried or not based on what I do. All I can think of, it's like Jeff saying spots in 50 are up for grabs. And he's like, here's something fun and interesting. Like,
the only other thing that you can really do is you can go, I'm going to play a fake one, and then hopefully everyone will think that I had a fake one all along, and now that I've played it, and that I can still keep my real one. But then Joanne turned around and said, no, man, play the real one.
Yeah.
Like, play the real one.
Yeah, I don't think it's trying to pretend you don't have it. I think it's like an interesting thing, right? And in fact, all it is
Rizzo, try something very cool.
that's what it was.
That's
try
very
something
good.
very
It's
cool.
very good. I think it'll be interesting to see what he says, whether he goes, I wanted to see their reaction and then know whether I should play it on myself or Savannah. Because Joanne was saying, no, Rizzo, play it, which was a little desperate, a little maybe, and especially when Riz knows that Joanne's not with him. When someone's turning around and going like, man, play the real one.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, hang on. No, something's up here.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. And Christina's idea of the 4-3-1 split was fine.
I really liked it. Of like, hey, if this so happens, we still get Rizzo out. But as we sort of spoke about, you don't know about that extra vote. So what can you do?
But that little thing is, again, she's not pulling Yellow Sophie in, so she doesn't actually know how locked in Yellow Sophie is, which I think you want to know, because this plan is very reliant on you having all of your numbers.
Unless you're just so focused on like, absolutely Sophie would be going Savannah. It doesn't make any sense not to be going after Savannah.
That's true.
I guess you think about that pathway a lot.
Yeah, and I feel like Sage at the end there, when Joanne went, I feel like she felt really bad that she brought this plan up, started doing it, and then Joanne was the one that took the hit. I feel like that.
Well, when you're not the one, you're not being targeted, right? It would always feel weird to be like, none of us, now our alliance is being targeted. It was all just going to be Steven, right? And that could have been the easy thing to go, but then you've got this plan, and then it's sort of back. I do love though when. And maybe it's just a timing thing. You spoke about bringing people in late. It seemed like for so long, it was like, nah, it's fine. Then all of a sudden it's like, why don't we flip it on those two? Let's get them out instead. And it's just...
Give people less time.
Yeah.
Give people... You know the people that you've got locked. You know the people that are on board, and you know the people that are wavering or that you don't fully trust. So bring them in late into a situation where they feel like this is what's happening.
Yeah.
And put pressure on them because you gave them way too much time to strategize around this.
I think that's what happened.
Rizzo came up with an idea of a fake idol in this time. Sophie can mull over her knowledge is power. Like, yeah,
Rizzo's been beating for 2 hours.
Exactly.
He's good to go.
Exactly. Josh, who Sman and Gran?
Spinning Gran.
It's kind of tough. I guess like Rizzo, Savannah, Sophie, like someone in that trio, right?
I don't think this is ultimately good for Yellow Sophie. I think this is probably good for Riz.
Maybe Savannah came out pretty good because she had that conversation with Christina, which is quite good.
Brutal.
Well, no, like in terms of like she knew exactly like
what was going on.
I know what's going on now. You know, there's no
Rizzo.
hiding here.
Riz or Savannah. I'm happy with splitting it between those two.
Spinning Gran.
I still feel like they're in control. And Josh, who ruffled some feathers?
It was to rustle feathers, ruffle feathers.
It's got to be Sophie in the middle, right?
It's got to be Sophie in the middle. Sophie in the middle, coming next fall to
the pilot
HBO
season.
Max.
I'm out for myself. I'm out for Segretti.
Good. Yeah, I think so. She sort of threw everything at
and I think, the way that she could have gone with one plan, went with the next, and then that she was that sort of central leaking point for that information that really spun everything around.
Still weird that we didn't see anything from her at the start of this game.
I don't understand the position she's been in and the votes that she... Like, I do not get at all why she did not get screen time at all in like those first 3 episodes. It seems so strange to me given her position in the game now. That's why I was like, well, she'll be gone really soon. It's like, nah, she's in the mix, like absolutely doing
and she's making
stuff.
decisions. She's impacting the game in a huge way.
So strange.
It's really weird. This is very Genevieve. Remember Genevieve was non-existent for like 4 episodes and then everyone loved it?
Yeah, you're actually right. Same thing. Very strange.
Yeah, it's really weird.
So I think Sophie gets our...
You said rustle feathers.
So much so. Hashtag Sophie in the middle. Let's get
Sophie in the middle.
If you've listened all the way, let's see if you could hashtag Sophie in the middle. Other than that, guys, look, we're coming to the pointy end of the season. We're just a few subscribers away from 500. So just get a friend in there. Be the 500th subscriber.
That'll be fun. What do you get at the 500th?
I'll contact me. Do we know who is the 500th? Can we figure that out?
Probably. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe not.
I don't know. If
comment,
we can, we'll give him
500th.
Yeah, 500th.
500th. Under
500th.
Pref Jobst, 500th.
Oh yeah. If Pref Jobst could write in, please, and be our 500th sub,
that'd be great.
That would be great. That would be great. That or the C crate. That will get the C crate. Do you know there is a C crate Twitter account?
Great.
That someone's made up, and it goes, I told you a million times, it was a drive-by. It's really good. It's really good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, thanks, folks.
Excellent. See you guys.
See you
Bye.
next week.